Well, hello there, it's me, that sophisticated guy, and today I am looking at gun running, or should I say, talking about it. So today's topic is obviously gun running, as I've said, and I just wanted to share this information with you before the update actually comes out. So it could be just around the corner, and it could be maybe not that long away, but still quite a long time to be waiting. So anyway, first thing I wanted to talk about is what kind of content we might be expecting. Now, as I've heard, there's been a leak of information. Again, this is not me that's actually found it. It's someone else, and that person is a user on the I think it's the GTA forums, and they've sort of been having a conversation about how some content might not be released, like what people think, and things might include like new weapons, vehicles, etc., and stuff like that. There's not been anything confirmed, like any names of vehicles or names of weapons or pictures or anything like that as of yet. So what I was going to talk about was just pure speculation. Again, it's just my opinions and my take on the whole thing. So please don't accept it for 100%. It's very important that you know, take that into consideration. So the first thing I want to talk about is the content, and the content's not going to be anything really that spectacular. I'm thinking it's going to be major but small, if you understand what I mean. And when I say that, I mean small things like APCs and weaponized vehicles. Nothing too big like a giant aircraft carrier or a cargo plane. Most likely we're going to see just small things. So don't be expecting too much on that front. Weapons, obviously, it's a gun running DLC. It says gun in the title. I'd be very surprised if they didn't actually release any new guns again. Rockstar released new guns with pretty much every single update, so yeah, that'll be interesting to look out for. And as far as everything else goes, I think there might be a few missions, or maybe adversary modes kind of linked to the topics. For example, with Cunning Stunts, we actually got tiny races, even though it's a very controversial thing. I'm not a big fan of it personally. You might be, you might not be. But yeah, something along those lines. This is just my take on the whole thing, so please don't be expecting any of this. If it does, hooray. If it doesn't come out, then let's just say I'm sorry if I tricked you or anything like that, but no. This is solely my opinion. Now, obviously, it's a weaponized kind of DLC, and that means two things. One, there's going to be quite a lot of stuff added into the game, especially guns and armoured vehicles, probably. And with that comes a little bit of a balance issue. The balance issue sort of ties into the things we've seen in the past. Now, if you remember with the Heist update, we got the Hydra, and the Hydra's basically been wreaking havoc in online ever since its release. So I'm hoping that that thing doesn't happen again, and that Rockstar have actually taken balance into account with these new vehicles. They kind of did it with import-export, where you could only use certain vehicles for a certain amount of time, or made them sort of have their own advantages and disadvantages, if you will. So there's a lot of things that could go wrong. I think this update will either make or break online. Again, my opinion. It'll probably be a little bit of a mick take, to be honest, in the end of things. I mean, if balancing issues are a problem, then that certainly won't be very good. Again, I doubt that Rockstar would actually go back into the game and actually fix it if there was any balancing issues. But just be aware that you might be killed by a lot of weaponized vehicles. Well, when it comes out. Now, a lot of players, myself included, have sort of like, I guess it's kind of like an objection to sort of DLCs that want to change the way the game is played and make major impacts. And the reason why is because Number one, there's balancing issues already in the game. I mean, if this is going to be a weaponized sort of DLC, is it really going to be the same sort of balance, or is it going to be even worse than it was before? That's one thing. Again, I'm not complaining. I'm not trying to rain on Gunrunning's parade. I'm just gonna say that it's a little bit. I'm a little bit skeptical, if I'm honest. If there are any money-making opportunities there, I don't think they'll be that good. Now, I know it's put a bit of sort of a downer thing, but considering the import-export DLC brought along the import-export business thingy and the biker thing and the CEO thing, yeah, all those things aren't really that good of an idea. Some of them have their own advantages over others, but then none of them are really perfect. None of them are what we really want. So either Gunrunning comes out with a brilliant money-making opportunity that lets us get all the things we want from online, then that will be great. But if that doesn't happen, then I think a lot of players are going to be a little bit ticked off, myself included. So if that happens, please expect a rant of some sort. I'm not going to go full on hate mode onto Gunrunning just yet, but I'm just a word of warning that it could be like that. I mean, assume the worst case scenario, be prepared for the worst case scenario, and hope that it doesn't happen. That's just my advice. Now, obviously the missions will most likely be, I was going to say high paying, but then some missions haven't been so high paying recently. We are on a little bit of a double money surge where some missions are on double money. I'm just going to go ahead and play some of those. But, yeah, it would be advised to save your money again. Still, I'm sure lots of you are doing it right now. But if I have reached out to you, please try and listen, take all this information into account. Like, comment and subscribe and whatnot to stay on top of things. Obviously you don't want to miss that run. It's going to be really, I'm going to say bad, but it's going to be really angry. It's going to be one of those rants that really they'll not be able to walk away from. That's if it turns out to be bad, but if it's not, then obviously no rant will come of it. Maybe just an explanation of a few things and the advantages and disadvantages and whatnot. But that's about it for now. Hopefully we'll see it very soon, and hopefully it'll be just as good as we think it'll be. Thanks so much for watching, and stay hopeful.